What's up, guys? It's currently 6:59 a.m. Woke up about an hour ago at 6 a.m. You can see the sun rising, sort of slowly rising. Sunrises are nice. But anyways, got lots planned for today. Lots of videos. Not sure what this video is going to be in, but if you know the title, you know it's coming next. But I figured I would film some other random things. Got some coffee here. Coffee cup number 2. Cup of coffee number 2, that's what I meant to say.
So basically what I want to talk about is the NFC playoff picture and where the Packers are right now and what sort of needs to happen for the Packers to get the number 1 seed. So right now, as you can see, we are on theathletic.com. Let me see who wrote this. Let's see, written by Aaron Reese last night, and it's basically about the entire NFL playoff picture. But I want to come down here to the NFC playoff picture just because I think it gives us a good idea of sort of what's happening, the record, and it goes through some things that may need to happen for each team and sort of the schedules, which I think will be easier to sort of show you guys by sharing my screen right here. But first off, if you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. I put out Packers content, Packers news, NFL content, tons of other content, so feel free to subscribe to the channel. So right now, as you can see, the Cardinals are sitting at the number 1 seed in the NFC at 10-2. The Packers just a half game behind them, currently sitting at 9-3. And of course, the great thing about this situation is the fact that the Packers have beaten the Cardinals. So if we were to tie at the end of the season, being the top 2 teams, if some of these other teams don't happen to come up and pass either of us, we would get the tiebreaker because we did beat the Cardinals. If you do remember when Rasul Douglas had that great, game-ending interception to end that game versus the Cardinals. So, but right now at the moment, the Cardinals are sitting at 10-2. So if both teams, let's say for example, the Cardinals win the rest of their games and the Packers win the rest of their games, that means the Cardinals would be the number 1 seed. So currently the Cardinals are really the only roadblock right now in front of the Packers when it comes to claiming that number 1 seed. But of course, the Buccaneers, they could, inch up farther, the Cowboys. But for the Packers, if they win the rest of their games and the Cardinals even lose just 1 game, the Packers would be the number 1 seed. And so if we take a look at the schedule here, so for the Cardinals, their remaining schedule versus the Los Angeles Rams, who have struggled a little bit recently, did win their last game. I still think they are a good team, so they could potentially beat the Cardinals maybe. I mean, I feel like the Cardinals would win that one, but I think there's a chance the Rams could maybe beat the Cardinals. Detroit, I give that one to the Cardinals. The Colts are a pretty dangerous team, so you never know what could happen there. Dallas can be dangerous, and then Seattle too with Russell Wilson back. You never know what could happen. So I think there are a few tough matchups there for the Cardinals. Then if we come down here to the Packers, we have the Bears this week, of course, which I don't think should be too tough of a game. Hopefully it's not. Then I think this is maybe the hardest game at Baltimore, not being at home, facing off against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. They are 2-2 the past 4 weeks, and I saw they've only scored 61 points in the past 4 weeks. So they haven't been amazing, but you never know when Lamar Jackson can just go off. So that could be a tough game, but still I think winnable. Versus Cleveland at home, I think the Packers could win that one. Versus Minnesota, of course, Minnesota did beat us. What was that, a few weeks ago? That was in Minnesota. So both of these games are at home for the Packers. So I feel like the Packers should be able to win both of those games and then finishing it off at Detroit. So of these 2 schedules, just looking at the Cardinals and the Packers, I do think the Packers have a easier remaining schedule. And if the Cardinals were to lose, let's say, to the Rams or to the Colts or Dallas and we win the rest, we would have that tiebreaker and be the number 1 seed. And of course, having the number 1 seed means that you are the only team in the NFC to get that week 1 bye, which I think, to be able to have players get that much healthier, especially the Packers who have been dealing with so many different injuries. Who knows how long it's going to take for Jair, David Bakhtiari, and who else am I forgetting? And Zadarius Smith to return. I told you guys yesterday, Matt LaFleur said, potentially all could return to practice this week, but who knows what potentially means. At least it's possible, but who knows. So hopefully if we get that bye, we have more time for guys to heal up and then, have that first playoff game. So hopefully we can finish off the rest of the season. Then, of course, the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are always dangerous with Tom Brady. They face off against the Bills, Saints, Panthers, Jets, and Carolina. So, I mean, these are other teams that could potentially move up. But, I mean, as long as the Packers can, win out, even if they don't win out, we still have a chance for the number 1 seed. So, I mean, even if we lost one of these games, we would need the Cardinals, I guess, to lose 2, which I think is possible. But obviously, the Packers' best case scenario, we win out, Cardinals lose 1 game, we get the number 1 seed. So hopefully that is what happens. And luckily we did beat the Cardinals, so we do have that tiebreaker, so we don't have to have a better record than the Cardinals. And then one other thing, for the Buccaneers, as you can see, the Buccaneers are also 9-3, but I was also doing some reading, and apparently because the Packers and Buccaneers haven't faced off and they don't have that like head-to-head matchup to, sort of have a tiebreaker, I read it then goes to, your record in the NFC. And right now, I think the Packers are 5-2 7-2. I don't know. They're pretty good in the NFC, and the Buccaneers are currently 5-3, I think, in the NFC. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. Basically, that's why the Packers are currently ahead of the Buccaneers, and it would be tough for the Buccaneers to get ahead in that area. So that's why the Packers, are ahead of the Buccaneers, even though both teams currently are 9-3. But that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe, drop a like. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, LukeBeller3 on Instagram, and I'll leave those things linked in the description down below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.